Question 87. For each table below, calculate the missing entries and write an equation that I guess would map um, x values to f of x. So we're gonna do that. So at this first one, as I look at it, I go from 0 to 1 to 2. Um, the first thing I think is it linear? So if I was to go 8 minus 2, 8 minus 2 is 6, of course. And if I go 32 minus 8, I don't get 6. So it's clear from the onset that this is not linear, right? And my hope is that it's exponential, but I don't know that for sure. But I can tell that adding 6 each time is not what's happening. So if if I look at it though, it does look like each time I'm multiplying by the number 4 times the number 4. 8 times 4 is 32. So I could finish off the table then. 32 times 4 is going to give me, really? 32 times 4 is going to give me 128. And then if I multiply that times 4, I get 512. And then times 4 is going to give me 2048. And then times 4 is going to give me 8192. 8192. Okay, so I can see my 0th term is the number 2, and I know that my multiplier is 4, so I can write this, right? So f of x is equal to 2 times 4 raised to the x power. So any x value I pick, and if I put in that directly, it'll work. So if I was to put in the number 3, 2 times 4 to the third, just to verify, yeah, I get 128. If I put in a 6, 2 times 4 to the 6th power, 6th, gives me 8192. So this is part A. Okay, part B. So this next one, let's see, from 5 to 6, I can see here, if it was linear, I'm adding 1, but I can see it is not linear because the next one doesn't add 1. It adds a little bit more than 1. It adds 7.2. So if I was going to go 6 divided by 5 and look for exponential, it's 1.2. So perhaps I'm multiplying by 1.2. Let me do that with the 6. 6 times 1.2, it gives me 7.2. That's right. So I'm multiplying by 1.2 each time. So this is going to be 8.64 times 1.2 is going to give me 10.368 times 1.2 is going to give me 12.4416, and then times 1.2 is going to give me 14.92992. 14.92992. All right, so I still do see my 0th term. My 0th term is 5, and I know my multiplier is 1.2. So for B, I would write down that f of x equals 5, my 0th term, times my multiplier, 1.2, raised to the x power. All right. So then it says, which function is growing at a faster rate? Oh, A is growing at a faster rate, right? The one in A or the one in B. How can you tell from the tables? How can you tell from looking at the equations? Well, by looking at the tables, I can see that, uh, yeah, I can just see 2 becomes 8, 8 becomes 32. It's growing. Every single time I move forward 1 month, the population quadruples. It's 4 times larger. And in B, it's only increasing by 20%, right? It's going up by 1 point. My multiplier is 1.2, so it's a 20% increase. So by looking at the tables, I can see from the tables the values are growing at a faster rate in A compared to B. And also, if I look at, there's two parameters when I look at an exponential growth rate, right? Y equals AB to the x. My multiplier is larger in part A. So from the equation, we see a larger multiplier in part A also, right? So A is the winner. It's got I can see the numbers growing at a faster rate as I move forward. And also I can see the multiplier just from consecutive terms. So, and although the 0th term and the first term, no, the 0th term is the only term where B is in the lead, right? After that, A just completely outstrips anything that's happening in B. All right, so that's the end of question 87.